بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قدر. That's what I meant to say. Yes. Okay. So there's no rules here necessarily that we need to highlight. So I want to see let's check yourself, how well you know the rules. So let's start, inshallah. Bismillah. And then we will read together. Okay. I don't want to taint you with information right now.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطي إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Okay. Any advice for Tawfiq? Is that correct? Is Manam correct?
What did you say? This is
He's not correct.
no, sit down.
Yeah. Why is he not correct? Is what? Say loud, speak louder. It's not slant, it's not a special tanween, yeah.
Yeah.
The normal tanween. Yes, so it's not long. Okay, great. Any other advice for Tawfiq?
أدراك
What do you mean?
أجل
Explain to him.
نشر في أجل
The qalqala? Yeah. The dal, you have to do the qalqala. Yes, that's correct. Okay, your turn.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Okay. Any advice for Manam? Rabbihim, what about it? What do you have to do? Make it longer. Why? It's empty, yeah. So how would you correct it, Manam?
تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر.
Yes, correct. What else? Any other advice? All good? Okay, Ahmed. No, Bara, sorry.
وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر
ليلة القدر.
ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
That's so beautiful. Any advice for Baru?
Sounded like shock.
Okay, okay, okay. Any other advice? All right, Ahmed.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Very nice. Any advice for Ahmed? That was very good. Yeah, mashallah. Okay, Ahmed.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Good job. Any advice for Ahmed? Okay, Ahmed.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من ألف الشهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
Advice?
Hmm.
Say, speak louder.
He put a lot of meds.
Lots of nuts, yeah. You all should practice at home. Listen to the Qari, repeat. If you don't do that, it's not going to help you. This, 15 minutes per week is not going to help you. It's only going to help you technically, like you know the rules, but the application of the rules, it's not going to go anywhere unless you practice. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work if you want to see improvement, inshallah. Because right now, what was happening was we were learning the little bit of rules, so you felt good about it because they were easy to implement, right? And as we were going up, and the surahs were easy, you knew them and all of that. And now, what you will see, some of you will see like flatlining. You're not going to see improvement for a while. For a while. And how is that flat line going to go up again? It's going to you have to put in a lot of work, a lot of practice, and constantly listening, following that rhythm, following the rules, making sure you're conscious about the rules. Don't forget about the rules. Don't just copy the Qari. If he made it long, you're going to make it long. You ask yourself, why did he make it long? Why did he make it short? Why did he pronounce it this way? Why did he put a qalqala there? Why did he not do, right? You understand? So you have to now, because I gave you these tools, alhamdulillah, I want you to see where those tools are being used and why. And you have to have the Mus'haf in front of you and you have to read it, not just by memory. Don't do it by memory because we're learning to read from paper, right? We're not learning to read from memory. Okay, right? We haven't gone to that level yet because I don't want to confuse you with all kinds of letters and all of that. I'm teaching you using notations that are on paper. So you're dependent on paper right now. And that's when you're practicing and listening, you have to read, you have to look at what's going on. Okay, focus every word, listen to every word. You have the Quran.com app, see how the word is being pronounced. And then you're listening to the Qari for the whole thing. You have to put in the work. Otherwise, you will see no improvement. And this is going to be just a theoretical class. That's not the purpose, right? Inshallah. Okay. But the only reason I can do an hour is because that's all I can give you. Otherwise, you'll be here every single day, right? So, all right. So, Bismillah. Let's read together and then I'll break it down, okay? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Okay, let me break this down and then inshallah we'll do some more reading practice. Um, Ahmed, can you make me some coffee? If you don't mind. Okay. Inna, everybody understand? Noon shadda, so that's long. Then alif mad, that's longer. So it becomes really long. So inna, right? Okay. Anzalnahu, noon is empty. That's telling you that the letter after it requires this blend. Inna anzalnahu. أنزلناه في ليلة القدر. Okay, this one, let's focus on this. This is the first time this has happened, where you al-qalqala letter, and then you have a sukoon letter right after it. When I say sukoon letter, you're stopping on the ra, right? You're not saying qadri, you're saying qadr. So the ra, you don't do fatha on it, or kasra on it, or dhamma on it. It's just right? Just that sound. But right before that, there's a qalqala letter. So often, every one of you, you did qadr. Oh, no, qadr. I don't know how you said it, qadr. You didn't really do the qalqala properly. Because why? Because it's impossible to do it the normal way. Like this one, qadri. I can actually stop on I can bounce the dal, and then I can release my bounce on the ra. Yeah, qadri. I can actually do that. But if I do qadr, it's very difficult to just stop the right? You understand?
Yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, you have both options, so.
No. I haven't told you how yet. There's a way to do it. And notice how I do it now. I'm not gonna do it like this one, like Laylatul Qadri. I'm not gonna do it this way. Laylatul Qadr. I paused on it. Did you see? I paused on it because that's the only way to do the qalqala.
You paused on the dal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, in Surat al-Fajr, how do you say? Wal Fajr. Wal Fajr. Right? So that because you want to make sure that the jim somebody can hear the jim and somebody can hear the ra. Here somebody can hear the dal and then somebody can hear the ra. Because if you don't do it, if you do the qalqala, which you're supposed to, you say qadr. So I have a habit of I can't do it the wrong way because I have a habit. Maybe one of you can try. Oftentimes when you guys were doing it, the ra was not audible. Was not audible. Okay, so that's how you do it. You're stuck on something that I didn't even talk about. So obviously qadris are they're wrong because you're going to stop here, right? So when you're continuing, you're going to do the qadri, but if you're stopping, of course you're not going to do it. That's not what I'm talking about though. Yeah. The dal. Yes, the qalqala, when there's a stop letter right after it. There's a letter here, audibly, you're not gonna put a kasra dhamma fatha on it at all. Audibly, when you're reciting it, because you're gonna stop there. So that's what I call a sukoon letter. So after the qalqala letter, if there's a sukoon letter, then it becomes very difficult to do the qalqala. So the way to do it is you pause on the qalqala letter. Qadr. Matla'il fajr. Fajr. You understand? Okay, so that's a unique thing that I don't think we've come across yet. And then the next one, easy. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ أَدْرَا heavy ra and the dal qalqala. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ قَدْر. Okay, you will hear the Qurra actually do it. Let's see how some of the Qurra do it. Is a play button here?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Is there a qalqala on the wama adraka on the dal adr?
وما
What do you think?
No.
Why would there not be qalqala? There has to be a reason. When you tell me something, give me a reason for it.
It's not before a stop. It's in the middle of the ayah.
Doesn't matter. Qalqala letter is a qalqala letter.
Oh, because it's just a sukoon.
Yes. Always. If it's a sukoon, if there's a sukoon in the middle or the end, you're going to do the qalqala on it. So it's adraka.
Oh,
Adraka. Ra,
So the,
not ra.
so the automatic sukoon if there's automatic qalqala if there's a sukoon.
Only on what letters? Don't forget. What are the qalqala letters?
Alif,
No.
that forgot.
Qaf, ba, ba, qatab, jad, jim, and dal. Only those.
Final.
Only those. Yes. Only those five. Qaf, memorize. You have to memorize. There's no notation here that is telling you this is a qalqala. No notation, unfortunately. I wish there was, but there isn't, unfortunately. Okay?
You know, so for those 5 letters if there's a sukoon, you have to do qalqala.
Yes.
If it's not those 5 letters in sukoon.
There's no qalqala. There's no bouncing.
Like the upright, like the light.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no qalqala on the there's no qalqala on the noon here. It's you don't say minna, you just say min. Right? Okay. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ shahr. Okay, that there's no, it's not pausing, but you're just making sure the ha is sounding and the ra is sounding. You just want to make sure that it's audible, the ha is audible and the ra is shahr. Okay, there's no qalqala on the ra, no qalqala on the ha, nothing, right? Shahr. That's it. Don't overthink it. Okay, but make sure, remember, in the Quran, Aisha radiallahu anha said, right, in the hadith, we're going to cover that inshallah in our next to next session of Salah, because I thought I would finish the stories of the prophets yesterday, but I couldn't, so I have to do a part 2 of that. But after that, I have a special session on the Salah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So in there, we're going to cover where Aisha radiallahu anha, she said when he recited the Quran in the Salah, it was harfan. Every single letter, every single letter was clear. Every single letter. So that's what we do. Okay? Shahr. Okay? And the ra here is shahr. So it's heavy. It's heavy. You understand? Because I'm not going to talk about the rules of the ra right now, but it's heavy here. Okay, so what happened here? Min. So because this is the special tanween, you're going to merge it with the mim, right? And this is a mim shadda, so it's going to be long. Min. And this is not an empty noon, so it'll be just normal length. Min خير من ألف شهر من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح. This mud is in the middle of the word, so it is a must mud. You have to elongate it. Yeah. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر بإذن. Um, I don't know if you guys realize, but this is a Hamza here, right? This is not a Alif. This is a Hamza. It's just written this way. بإذن بإذن ربهم this is heavy. ربهم meme empty with the meme shadda longer. ربهم من كل أمر. Noon empty because of the kaf. Noon is empty, that's long. Half noon. من كل أمر. Okay, this is a soft ra. I was incorrect. Okay, that's shahr, but you almost can't hear it, so it's not gonna matter too much. In this situation, amr salamun hiya hatta, no elongation. This is not a special tanween. This is the normal. This is the special. This is normal. This is special. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Ta, heavy ta, qalqala letter, so it will be you bounce it. Matla'il matla'il fajr. Okay, you guys want to try reading now? Okay, focus on what we're doing. Okay, don't just copy me. Focus on why. And if you don't understand, ask me again, please. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. قدر. Everybody do it. وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. Yes. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. فجر. Okay. This I number 4 is long for me, is at this speed. So I want to pause somewhere just for me because I'm not reading it correctly. I'm going to pause at fiha and then I'm going to go back and then waruhu fiha and then I'll complete. Okay. Is that okay? Because it's long for me. Okay. Again. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. Okay, one more time. إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر. ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. سلام هي مطلع الفجر. Fajr. Okay. Lots of practice at home. Please promise me. Please promise yourself. Okay. Promise yourself for improvement. Okay. Inshallah. Please, please, please. Otherwise, you're going to regret this practice because you're going to lose it. You're going to lose all of the gifts. You know, it's like sand, you know, and knowledge is like sand. If you don't use it, you lose it.
On the second noon, that's a half. I mean, sorry,
That's a half noon, yeah. Empty noon.
It sounded like you were pronouncing the full un. Sorry, you like making it a half.
Yeah. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ. The full would sound like إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ. Okay. And
One has meant and the other one doesn't have.
yeah, but even I'm not touching the tongue, right? That's the main difference. And so yeah, it's subtle, maybe a little subtle. It tends to be that way. It's not as prominent here as it could be prominent in other places. Okay. Like min kulli, one is clear, sharp. One is not sharp. Min, it's muffled, right? Anzalna, anzalna. One is sharp, one is muffled. Yeah, that's why it's called ikhfa, means to hide.
You were studying in Salah, like how are you supposed to remember if it's at half? Or sorry,
You're supposed to practice,
or-
practice, and then memorize it that way. Yeah. Yeah, based on practice and memorizing. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
there an underlying rule behind it?
Yes. What is that rule? Yes. So that's what you look for. So this is how you do it. And tell Imad.
Based on the letter out.
So if there is a
Letter.
Zay or Zal, it's pronounced two ways. It has two names, Zay or Zal. Okay. So there are a few letters. If before them is an empty noon or a tanween, you will always make them half. The noon will be the noon or the tanween will be half, and you do the merge. Okay. It's quite a few letters. It's not just a few. You want me to show you? That's why I'm not teaching that way yet. Right now, I'm trying to give you some of the focusing on some areas and not others, huh? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, you said that.
Yes, I sent it. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Tawfiq. You have a question?
Oh, no.
Did you guys crack this open? Nope, of course not. Because it's complicated. Right now it is complicated. Okay. So it doesn't have a list of the ones before. It doesn't have the list of the letters that have a empty noon before them. But instead it has the opposite. The one that does not have the ones that have the full noon on it. What are those letters? So the letters that you don't, the letters where you pronounce the noon clearly and the tanween clearly are these letters. Are they easy to remember? Okay. Hamza, ha, ha. So they all kind of look the same, right? So that would which one is missing over here that also looks the same?
Oh, you got G.
Jim. So Jim is not one of those. But all of the other ones with that shape and Hamza and Ha. So that's how you can remember. You did a great job. Yeah. So let's see now. Let's see now. Was this noon clear noon? Why was it clear? Hamza after it. Okay.
Second is non, sorry, after.
Because it is not ha, kha, ain, ghain, hamza, or ha. Yes. So that's how you remember.
Okay. That's kind of what the reason why.
This is the reason why. Exactly. Exactly. What is, look at salamun. Why is this tanween clear? Ha. Because of the ha. Salamun here. Instead of salamun here. No, you don't do the merging. So this has a term for it. What is the term for it? It is called izhar when it's clear. The word izhar means clear. Okay. When the tanween or the noon is clear. And ikhfa means to hide, which is the muffled, the half noon, the half tanween, the special tanween. It's called ikhfa, to hide. Clear? Now, the ones where you do the merging, there are other letters that you do other things with. For example, if it's lam and ra in this list, no. So you're going to do the half, right? But will you make it long or not? No. So for lam and ra, it is not going to be long. Anyway, I don't want to see, it gets confusing unless I show you examples. So let's look at examples. Yeah, this I make this. Yeah, you see in Surat Ikhlas, walam ya, it's half noon, yes, but because of the lam, you don't make it long because of lam and ra. Walam yakul lahu. I know I taught you the different way. I'm telling you the traditional way right now. I told you what? It's empty noon, but if it's followed by a shadda, you skip the noon, right? That's the rule that I taught you. Remember, just leave it that way. That's an easier way to remember. But yeah, but I'm just telling you, like mir rabbihim, huh? It's because there's just in these traditional rules, there's just way too many exceptions. So it becomes really confusing to learn. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm teaching you from the notations. Once you have the notations down, then inshallah you can advance to this level of learning. So that's why I'm not teaching you this way right now. Otherwise, you would have left this class a long time ago. Okay. All right. Because right now it's in front of you. It's helping you. You know, it's helping you see how it's pronounced, right? Ahmed, am I right? The other one, there's no notations. You're doing it all in your head. You have these million rules going through your head. It's like, how do I read this? How do I read this? Right? You have to scan through all of the rules. It's like, which rule applies here? It becomes really, really tricky, right? For beginners. Inshallah. Okay. No notations in the Desi Quran, unfortunately. Yeah.
Oh.
So you have to do it the hard way.
Which one are you talking about that has? But I think it's much more.
Exactly. Why do you think I'm teaching from this?
Yeah.
That's why. Yep.
And this is just the second
Light bulbs are turning on in Ahmad's head today. Mashallah, huh?
Is it just wake up and decide to make it more difficult for them?
Who?
This Quran have like so many.
It's not that. It's not that. It just became, when you start something, it just becomes tradition. So let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. I don't remember exactly the story. I'm just going to make it up just to kind of make a point. I don't remember the exact story. I'll tell you, I'll send you the story, inshallah. It's a story about monkeys. Okay. So there were a bunch of monkeys. Okay. They made a rule or something happened. I can't remember the story. But there's bananas on a tree, right? So the monkey who wants to go and grab the banana from the tree goes up or something like that. When he comes down, he gets beat up by the other monkey. Okay. So anytime a monkey goes into this particular tree and there's a banana there, the monkey goes up to get the banana, comes down, and then he gets beat up by the other monkeys. This happens all the time. Okay. Then the initial set of people, they kind of go away, okay? And new monkeys come. Okay, so there's a mix of new monkeys. So what are they saying? What are they seeing? They're seeing anytime a monkey comes down the tree, he gets beat up. So they do the same thing because everybody else did the same thing. So they're beating up that monkey, whoever comes down the tree. So eventually, those monkeys die off, new monkeys come. When monkeys come, and what are they seeing? There's a tradition now has become, anytime a monkey comes down the tree, they get beat up. And nobody asks why. They just do whatever all of the other monkeys are doing. Monkey see, monkey do, right? You see, this is how traditions, we don't ask the question. For example, when you're praying salah, did you ever question, for example, why do we not recite any surah in the second or the third rak'ah? Nobody asks. We don't know the reason, but if there was a reason, nobody would even ask. We do things just because we want to blend in with those around us. We don't want to be different from them. We want to blend in. We don't want other people to point the finger, look, he's being different or she's being different, right? Okay, with that said, a tradition started actually this started in Persia. That's how it went to India and Pakistan. There was a standard way that they developed that the Quran is going to be written down a certain way. And it just literally just the same tradition just continued. The script, the style, and everything like that just continued on. On the Arab side, and by the way, they're non-Arabs, right? So they're going to be super conservative about changing anything. They're like, oh, this is going to be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will get mad at me if I change something here. This is how my shuyukh taught me, and I'm just going to stick with this, and I'm not going to change. I'm not going to question. I'm not going to even, because I might be sinful if I do it. Because if I change the way, or there might be other reasons, like other people will get confused if I introduce something new, right? On the Arab side, I don't know when this actually started, but it started a while back. If you look at the old masahif of maybe even 50, 60 years ago, they had this notation. So I don't remember when the Tajwid notation started in the masahif. That's a good question. I need to research. I need to figure out when this actually happened. It might be hard to find the answer, but so it has been around, but it wasn't always this way. We looked at other manuscripts before. They didn't even have any tashkil on them. They didn't even have any fatha, dhamma, kasra, nothing. Nothing. No dots, nothing. So there was this development that happened in the Arab world, but that I think this is just my assumption. I don't know for a fact, but the development in the non-Arab world never happened. It stagnated. Everybody just started copying with the previous shift. That's it. The previous sheikh copied the previous sheikh, copied the previous sheikh, copied the previous sheikh, and that's how it just stayed. And that standard just spread through the Indian subcontinent and even in, by the way, even in Africa, if you go, they read from the Desi Quran style, not North Africa, the Southern Africa. Why? Why do you think? Who can guess why? Yes, because there was an Indian slave trade that had slave. There was Indian workers. I'm not that good at history, but Indians, there was a lot of Indians that came and worked in Africa, right? For gold, for mining, for those kinds of things. So there's a huge Indian population there. Guess which version of the Mus'haf they're going to take with them? The Desi. Yeah. So I think if you ask, um, who's that tall brother from Somalia? Yaqub. Yeah, Sheikh Yaqub. He reached from the Desi Quran. Yeah, he's not from North Africa. North Africa looks completely different. You want to see the, yeah. You want me to completely throw you off? Let me show you something. I'm going to now introduce to you another Quranic script you may have never seen before. You've seen it in Libya, I'm sure. What is this called? It's called the Maghribi. Moroccan. Can you read that? Can you read that, Ahna? What are you doing? He's being naughty. Can you read that? No, right? No, please don't read from this one. You're gonna make a mistake. Yeah. You can probably figure it out, of course. Yeah. I'm trying to find another version. Let me see. Huh? Yeah. There's another cooler one. I can't find it. Hold on. Ah, look at this one. Go ahead. This is called the Warsh, Mus'haf Warsh. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. What do you notice? Yeah. 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 I can't read from this one. I don't know. I'm not a Warsh expert. You see the Tanween looks like that? And like this? Really? You think it looks similar? No. For me, it was like,
Before street at the
On first glance, he is without dot in it.
yeah. No, there's a dot at the
On
bottom.
the bottom.
The dot is at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At first glance, when you look at him, no.
And look at Qaf. Qaf looks like a fa. Yes. No.
Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah.
So there's people in North Africa that read from this.
Yeah.
They'll be confused looking at the other version that we read from. Maybe not Libya, maybe Morocco, Tunisia. Yeah. Do you like this? Isn't that cool? This is very common. So you will see three major scripts. The Desi one that you saw, the standard one that we're studying from, and this one. Okay? This is the least common out of the two, obviously. But where? Because it's an empty noon. No, it's not an empty noon. Yeah. No. Yeah, there's a fatha on it. I don't know why they would put a fatha. I have not studied this one. I don't know. Don't ask me. That's the notation that it's a full noon. It has a fatha on it for some reason.
The second alif,
Yeah.
there's no dot in the top or the bottom.
Yeah. Amazing. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Then you cancel it.
That looks like a staggered to me, but we know it's not staggered.
Yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah. Anyway, you think is it cool? This is called the Maghribi script. So the other funny one that you saw with the it looked funny, that's actually this. It's just in a different font. It's the Maghribi script. Okay, anyways, I gotta go. Barakallahu fikum. Oh, meaning, oh yeah. So, inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. We have sent it down on the night of Qadr. Qadr has many meanings. It doesn't mean power. It means it's many, 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 many meanings. It means okay. There's Qadar and there's Qadr. There's two different words according to scholars, and it has different meanings. I can't remember which one who says what. At the end of the day, it has this spectrum of meanings, meaning tight, constricted, or predestination, qadr, right? Or it could mean power, ability. It has many meanings. So that night has this vast spectrum of meanings. Laylatul Qadr, in Ramadan, you know Laylatul Qadr? Okay. It's called Laylatul Qadr because it's a night of magnificence. It's a night of elevation. It's a night when destinies are established by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a night which is packed with angels. So it's a night of constriction because angels are packed because that's how many angels are coming down, etc. Right? All of that makes sense. So this whole surah is about Laylatul Qadr. So Allah said, we have sent it down in Laylatul Qadr, it meaning Quran. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا Laylatul Qadr. And what can you imagine about Laylatul Qadr? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a rhetorical question. You know, like for example, I have a red car, and what can I tell you about that red car? What would you think I'm saying? That it's amazing. Like there's no way you can even imagine how amazing I think it is, right? So this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. What can you even know about Laylatul Qadr? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the Laylatul Qadr. All the rest of the surah is now description of Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadri khayrun min alfi shahr. Laylatul Qadr is better than 1,000 months. If you take it literally, 1,000 months is 83 years. But Allah didn't say it's a lifetime. He says it's better than. So how much better? Nobody knows. Also, you shouldn't take it literally. 1,000 months meaning a lot. It just means a number you can't even imagine. Okay? تنزل الملائكة. Angels come down. والروح, and Jibreel alayhi salam comes down fiha, in it. بإذن ربهم, with the permission of their Lord. So angels and Jibreel alayhi salam, they come down on Laylatul Qadr with Allah's permission. Min kulli amr, for all affairs, for all things, meaning they come down for certain duties, and with all kinds of commands from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obviously to execute those duties. Salamun, peace. Hiya hatta matla' al-fajr. Peace exists until the rise of Fajr time.
Besides specifically talking about Laylatul Qadr, like in Ramadan, right?
Yeah.
The name of this one.
Yeah, this is why it's called Suratul Qadr. Not with the fatha, not the qadar, but the qadr, right? The qadar is actually predestination, not qadr. So that's why there is a difference of opinion what it actually means. Allah knows best. Okay? Barakallahu feekum. Yes.
Next surah we should practice.
Aha. So next week, thank you for asking that question. Jazakallah khair. So the first surah revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, not the first surah, the first set of ayat. So Surah Al-Alaq, right before that. We will treat this in 3 different sessions. This surah, at least 3 different sessions. So let's just do the first 5 ayat. Have Barat memorize the first 5 ayat. It's really easy. It's really easy. Okay. Okay. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. You already know it. Yeah, that's good. That's what we will do, inshallah. Okay. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum.